ADHD? In other words, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. Not sure? Let's take a look at 10 warning signs of ADHD. Number 1, poor concentration. You're like a light switch. You're turned off whenever something is boring, too complicated, or hard to understand. Unless something interests you, it's just about impossible to concentrate and focus. Number 2, distraction. You're easily distracted. If something doesn't capture your attention, then you tune out. You start thinking about other things. Part of the problem is lack of stimulation. If you don't have enough stimulation or arousal, then your thoughts will be elsewhere. Number 3, disorganization. You tend to be all over the place and scattered. Your desk is messy. Perhaps you're a pack rat who doesn't like to get rid of anything. You lose or misplace things. Getting organized is a big chore, and it's hard for you to come up with a game plan for getting things done. Number 4, restlessness. You have a low tolerance for boredom. Waiting in line is pure torture. If you're listening to a boring lecture, you'd like to get up and leave. You prefer sound bites to long-winded explanations. By the way, why do some people take so long to get to the point? They're driving you crazy. Part of the problem is that you have nervous energy. Sometimes your mind chatters or races, distracting you from getting things done. Restlessness is also evident when you can't sit still, or you're tapping your fingers or feet. If you have a lot on your mind, you're likely to be wound up, wired, and wide awake. Number 5, low arousal. You can't seem to get into gear. You're bored, not motivated, or feel apathetic. If something doesn't interest you or challenge you, then you might as well forget it. Number 6, craving for stimulation. Perhaps you're a thrill seeker or an adrenaline junkie. This gives you an extra push that helps you to focus. You crave stimulation, and there's nothing like a little excitement to stir things up. You look for ways to turn on your brain power. You might drink coffee, soda, or energy drinks. Whatever it takes, you need a boost to get yourself up and ready for action. If that's not enough, you might pick a fight, run around the room, scream at the top of your lungs, or do something else to get yourself up and ready for action. Sometimes a little excitement is just what you need to get into gear. Number 7, impulsiveness. You blurt out whatever comes to mind without thinking first. Sometimes you do or say things you later regret. You might butt into other people's conversations. Your impulsiveness may also be evident when you're driving. You may drive too fast, run stop signs or red lights, or get angry with other drivers. At work, you might quit or give up because of minor conflicts or frustration. In personal relationships, you might end things suddenly or make impulsive commitments. Sometimes impulsiveness makes reading difficult. You give up easily because the material is complicated, hard to understand, or doesn't get to the point immediately. Number 8, poor short-term memory. You have good insights, but sometimes your thoughts race so fast that you can't make sense of them. You enter into a room to get something, and then immediately forget what it was. You're losing track of what you were thinking about because you can't hold on to your thoughts long enough. This is a short-term memory problem. Number 9, dissatisfaction and frustration. You might be performing below your ability, or perhaps you're employed below your ability. You do a mediocre job when you're capable of much more. It all adds up to frustration and disillusionment with life. You'd like to accomplish more, but you're not sure how to make things happen. It's frustrating when there is a huge gap between where you are and where you want to be. Number 10, emotionally wounded. The harder you try, the worse things get. You feel like giving up. ADHD is emotionally draining and overwhelming. Sometimes you hate yourself and wonder if things will ever get better. How can you be optimistic about the future when ADHD keeps holding you back from being all that you can be? If you recognize at least 6 of these symptoms, then you probably have ADHD. What you're experiencing is not imaginary. ADHD is a real problem, but there is also a real solution for it. There is no need to be overwhelmed, confused, or frustrated any longer. For more information, check out the book, Train your brain, transform your life. Conquer ADHD in 60 days without Ritalin. You can find it on Amazon.com or visit www.trainyourbraintransformyourlife.com.